Gentlemen, a lot of people have been waiting for this night, so let's get going.
Hi, everybody. This is Chris McGarian at the Los Angeles Times. I just finished watching the first presidential debate, ready to run down everything we heard from the candidates and where they strayed from the facts. President Trump has set records for lying in his first term in office, and tonight was really no different. He covered a lot of ground, and a lot of it was not true. Right off the bat, he repeated one of his most common falsehoods, which is that he's going to protect pre-existing conditions.
We guarantee pre-existing conditions, but took away the individual mandate.
He's actually right now trying to overturn the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, which protects people with pre-existing conditions from losing their health insurance. He is trying to get the Supreme Court to overturn the law right now. So what the president has done is he's signed an executive order saying that he will cover pre-existing conditions, but that really has no force of law, no actual effect on people's health care. So essentially what he's doing right now is saying he's going to protect something when he's actually taking action to stop protecting it.
If we would have listened to you, the country would have been left wide open. Millions of people would have died.
President Trump has been on the defensive about his handling of the coronavirus, and he keeps defending himself by saying he put a ban on travel from China, and he blamed Joe Biden for calling that ban xenophobic.
I closed it, and you said he's xenophobic. He's a racist, and he's xenophobic because you didn't think I should have closed our country.
This isn't based on the evidence of what Joe Biden has said. Joe Biden has talked about the president himself being xenophobic, saying he should not call the coronavirus the, quote, China virus, which is something that Asian American groups have complained about. But there's no record of Joe Biden actually calling the travel ban xenophobic like the president said.
We closed it down, and now we're reopening, and we're doing record business.
President Trump wants to portray the U.S. economy as rocketing back after the coronavirus shutdowns. But it's really unclear whether or not that's going to be the case. People are going back to work. The unemployment rate is lower than before, but it's roughly equivalent to what it was as the United States was dealing with the Great Recession after the financial crisis. And there are millions of people who are still out of work, and it's unclear how fast that recovery will move. A lot of it is dependent on how quickly the country beats back the virus, which is still spreading in the United States. Cases could go up again, and if that happens, you could see much longer period of economic trouble than we already have.
Is it true that you paid $750 in federal income taxes each of those 2 years?
So you might have seen the New York Times report on Trump's taxes. The report said that Donald Trump paid only $750 in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017. This is a shockingly low number for somebody who claims to be a billionaire, and much lower than the average middle-class American. So when he was asked about that during the debate, Trump claimed to pay millions of dollars in taxes.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars,
So
yes.
not $750?
Millions of dollars.
Now, there are other kinds of taxes besides federal income taxes that he might be paying, such as property taxes and state income taxes and payroll taxes. However, he was asked specifically about federal income taxes, and he claimed to be paying millions of dollars in federal income taxes. That's simply not borne out by the reporting we've seen so far, and the president has refused to release any documents to show otherwise.
You say it's rigged, that it's going to lead to fraud. But in 2018, in the last midterm election, 31 million people voted mail-in voting.
President Trump is trying to convince Americans that mail ballots are not safe, that mail ballots are fraudulent, and this simply is not true. There's no evidence that there's widespread fraud with mail ballots, and America's been using mail ballots for decades and decades and decades. The president himself votes by mail. So a lot of what he's doing is trying to stir doubt of whether the election is going to be rigged against him or not, but there's simply no evidence of this being the case. President Trump wasn't the only one who strayed from the facts tonight during the debate. Joe Biden said a few things that didn't hold up, and one thing I wanted to point out was what he said about the trade deficit with China.
We have a higher deficit with China now than we did before.
The trade deficit with China did increase during the first few years of President Trump's term, but now it's actually gone back down to where it was in 2016. This is partially due to Trump's trade policies and trade war with China that is kind of throwing off trade between the two countries. However, Biden did say it's higher now than it was before, and right now that does not seem to be the case. Thank you for watching the video, and thanks for following all the debate coverage on LAtimes.com. There are 2 more debates coming up. We're going to keep tracking this, and we'll see what else pops up along the way.